And now for a Next News special report.
Now for the real news, it's Joe Rogan versus the political elite. In a recent podcast, Rogan predicts an almost inevitable triumph for Trump in the upcoming Republican primaries. Could you believe that? A podcaster with his finger more firmly on the pulse of Republican voters than the pundits themselves? He firmly believes that no one can outrun the Trump train. But what makes Trump so invincible in Rogan's eyes? Well, it's the economy under Trump. Or is it the unwavering support of his fan base? Stick around as we dissect Rogan's bombshell take on the Trump's chances in the 2024 election. Now, the firebrand podcaster Joe Rogan, known for his bold views and the influential platform that reverberates throughout America, has offered a stirring insight into the political landscape of our country. In a recent episode, he emphatically stated his belief that no one can run against Trump on the Republican side and expect victory. His reasoning? Trump's robust support base. They are, as Rogan says, all in on Trump. He suggests that anyone daring to contest Trump is seen as an enemy. In this political climate, Joe Rogan seems to understand the Republican base better than many mainstream politicians, consultants, and even pundits. Watch.
No one is going to run against Trump in the Republican side and win, because you're not going to get the Trump supporters. They are all in on Trump, unless he has a stroke, unless something happens that's horrible. They're all in on Trump. If you run against Trump, you're now the enemy of Trump. If I was friends with DeSantis, I'd be like, don't do it. You can't beat that guy. You just can't. When that guy gets out there and he's waving to people and they're going crazy, you're not beating that. There's a fucking, and the fact that he was the president for 4 years and the country was in a great economic situation, and it looked like his policies were actually effective, and that it looked like the unemployment was down, all business was building, regulations were being relaxed, more things were getting done. You know, when you look at it from a policy perspective, if you just look at it on paper, what he did was effective. A lot of people think it was effective. You don't like him as a personality, so you ignore that. Don't do that. Look at it in terms of a policy perspective. People liked the ideas that he was putting forward. And now you're seeing like, oh, the wall is raised. Now the fucking everybody thinks there needs to be a wall. Even the mayor of New York City is now calling to stop immigration into his city. And this was the guy that called it for it to be a sanctuary state. When the reality of what your policies, what kind of actions you put forth, what the results of that are, and those results are highly negative, you're forced to sort of recollect your thoughts and come up with a new perspective. And that's what the mayor of New York City is doing right now. When you just look at what Trump's policies were, and then obviously COVID hits, there's a lot to that, the lockdowns, the economic collapse, all the shit that came with that. None of that is good. And then Trump holds up this like hope to bring us back to where we were when he was in office. You're not going to beat that. I don't think they're going to beat that. I don't think when you look at the Russia collusion, when you look at the Steele dossier, when you look at all the bullshit they tried to throw at him that we now know is bullshit, not just bullshit, but coordinated bullshit. When you look at the fact that they suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story and that 51 intelligence agency representatives signed off on that to say that this was Russian disinformation, which they know is not true. That's scary, because now you have the intelligence agencies colluding to keep a guy from being president that was president during a time where the country was thriving economically. You're not going to beat that guy.
Would he get your vote?
He'd get my vote before, excuse me, he'd get my vote before Biden. I said that before. I don't think that, I never thought that Biden was going to make it. I never thought that he was going to be functional. You know, like regardless of what kind of power the president actually has. And it appears under Trump, the president has a lot more power than we think they do. But under Biden, it's like he's handled. Like he's just out there talking and say, the real problem is Donald Trump. Donald Trump, what he's done is terrible. What he did in the office. It's all nonsense. It's like everyone's treating him with kid gloves because they don't want to prop up Trump. They don't want to go after him because it'll weaken the Democratic Party.
So when are you having Trump on?
I don't know.
Okay. The look,
I don't know. Maybe.
Looks like you got something.
Maybe.
Okay, good. That's good. I think that's.
Look, at a certain point in time, it's just like It would be interesting to hear his perspective on a lot of things. I would like to know, what is it like when you actually get into office? I would like to know things like what is it like versus perception?
Yeah.
What is it actually like when you get in that building? Like what are you greeted with? When do you know that people are fucking with you? When do you know that the intelligence agency is lying to you? Like when you decided to fire Comey, what was the thought? How much did you know? Like what's the machine like? What is the deep state really like? Really like? Because we have all these, smoky room perception. What is the machine that runs this country? Because it's very clear that it's not as simple as elected representatives that are doing the will of the people. It's not.
Well said. Now, according to Rogan, a critical factor for Trump's potential triumph in the primaries is his robust economic track record during his presidency. Despite the controversy surrounding his administration, it's undeniable that unemployment was down, business was building, and regulations were being relaxed. The country was in an ostensibly strong economic position under Trump's leadership. Even more critical is that a significant portion of the voters recognized this and appreciated Trump's results-oriented approach. However, as Rogan admits, not everything in Trump's presidency was smooth sailing. Rogan noted that Trump was not just dealing with routine administrative challenges. His presidency was marred with allegations of Russian collusion, the controversial immigration debate, and then, of course, the eruption of the pandemic. Rogan's blunt assessment, though, brings light to an even more concerning issue, the Hunter Biden laptop scandal. The fact that intelligence agencies apparently suppressed the Hunter Biden laptop story and endorsed claims of Russian disinformation, which are now largely debunked, is troubling. If these agencies were in fact trying to prevent Trump's reelection, it raises severe questions about their role and impartiality in our republic. Furthermore, Rogan brings up the Democrats' tactics during the Trump administration. He says that in their attempts to neutralize Trump, they failed to provide constructive solutions to the country's problems. Instead, they seemed to operate under the assumption that simply being against Trump was enough. As a result, according to Rogan, Democrats did more to stifle their own progress than to challenge Trump effectively. But perhaps the most riveting part of Rogan's argument is his suggestion that Trump's appeal may be less about the man himself and more about what he represents. He notes that Trump's policies resonated with many people regardless of their feelings about his personality. This implies that what made Trump so compelling for many voters was not his charisma, but his commitment to getting things done. Rogan concludes his viewpoint with a bold prediction for the future. Trump may be the one hope for restoring the country's economic vitality post-pandemic. After all, the economic turmoil wrought by the pandemic and the lockdowns, Rogan suggests that Trump's promise to bring us back to our pre-pandemic prosperity would be a winning message. He also hints at the distrust and disillusionment many feel towards the intelligence agencies, which might further fuel support for Trump. Moreover, in Rogan's eyes, Biden seems to be failing to inspire confidence or demonstrate the assertive leadership that marked Trump's tenure. Rogan, his view, paints a picture of a weak and indecisive Democrat Party seemingly so averse to giving Trump any credit that they end up undermining their own credibility. It's clear from Rogan's commentary that he believes Trump's potential run and victory in 2024 will not only be about the man, but about the ideas and policies he's brought to the table. His comments suggest that for many Americans, the 2024 election will be about choosing the leader who can best restore the economy, rein in rogue intelligence agencies, and bring about real change in the political status quo. In this context, according to Rogan, Trump may be, indeed, unbeatable. In the light of Rogan's incisive commentary, it's evident that he understands the pulse of America and what drives the Republican base. His profound insight into the magnetic appeal of Trump's candidacy unveils the naked truth of our current political landscape. The fight for the Republican nomination in the 2024 election may not be a battle among equals, but a display of Trump's unassailable position. Whether you agree or disagree with Rogan's viewpoints, his perspective serves as a critical reminder that the political landscape is intricate, complex, and continually evolving. It's a wake-up call we should all heed. We'll see you at the next report. For the Next News Network, I'm Gary Franchi. Congratulations, you made it to the end of the video. Now keep up your quest for truth with this next news report. And if you found our channel enlightening, join the millions who agree with you. Tap subscribe. Thank you for watching the Next News Network.